In the anime's beginning, we see a girl who is running away from some guards into the forest, and all those guards are chasing her. Then one guard says that we shouldn't go deeper into the forest because a demon lord lives inside this forest who absolutely hates humans. After that, another guard says that some villagers told them the girl went to the other side of the forest, and they all head in that direction. Meanwhile, the girl is hiding behind a tree, and after the guards leave, she starts to move away, but her foot slips, causing her to fall down. There, she sees a house in front of her but faints right there. Meanwhile, we see that demon lord reading about the girl in a newspaper, and the girl is actually a criminal who fled from the Nero kingdom. The demon lord enters the forest and spots some criminals there. He approaches them and sees the girl lying unconscious. Recognizing her as the same girl from the newspaper, he picks her up. But the guards notice him, though the demon lord is already aware of them. He teleports right behind one guard and asks, "Who are you?" Hearing this, the guard attacks the demon lord, but he is very fast and dodges the attack. Then the demon lord sees the guard's badge and realizes he's from the Nero kingdom. He asks, "What are you doing here?" The guard calls his remaining companions and tells the demon lord, "This girl is a criminal, so we've been ordered to capture her. Hand her over and we won't harm you." But the demon lord refuses, prompting all the guards to attack him. He evades their attacks and freezes them in place using his ice magic. The guards see the demon lord's face and, noticing his black and white hair, become terrified. They ask, "Are you the demon lord?" He replies, "Yes, I am the great demon lord who lives in this forest." He then manipulates them with his magic, and the guards say, "We'll report to the king that a beast killed the girl." After saying this, they leave. Meanwhile, the demon lord takes the girl home. When she regains consciousness, he offers her a drink and she starts drinking it. He asks, "How did you end up unconscious in this forest?" She explains, "I saw this mansion but fainted." The demon lord reads about her in the newspaper and says, "You're the fiancée of the second prince of the Nero kingdom. Your name is Charlotte." Hearing this, Charlotte starts to panic, but the demon lord approaches her and says, "I can tell by looking into someone's eyes whether they're lying or telling the truth." Hearing this, Charlotte begins to cry. Seeing her tears, the demon lord asks, "Why are you crying?" She replies, "You're the first person who's helped me." He then asks, "What exactly happened to you?" Charlotte explains, "On the day of the ceremony, the prince framed me with false allegations and had me imprisoned." After hearing her story, the demon lord thinks to himself that she's telling the truth. Charlotte thanks him for his help and says, "I'll leave soon or you'll get into trouble because of me." The demon lord then asks, "Do you know how to clean?" She replies, "I'm very good at cleaning." Hearing this, the demon lord becomes happy and says, "I can offer you a maid job at my house so you can stay here. You won't have to worry about food or shelter." But Charlotte declines, saying, "I'm a criminal, so I can't stay with you." The demon lord tells her, "I live alone in this forest and don't like socializing with others, but I understand your situation. You've been betrayed just like me." He then shares his past, saying, "I'm not the demon lord. My real name is Alan Crossword. I was an adventurer who joined a party, but they used me to break a temple seal and later trapped me there." After hearing Alan's story, Charlotte gets emotional, and Alan thinks while looking at her, "This girl is very pure-hearted." Charlotte thanks Alan for his offer but says, "I cannot accept your offer." Hearing this, Alan thinks, "Now I'll have to use my last plan." He then casts a death curse on himself and tells Charlotte, "If you don't listen to me, I will die because of this death curse." Hearing this, Charlotte gets extremely scared. Alan says, "You wouldn't want an innocent person to die because of you, right?" Charlotte accepts his offer. After that, she cleans Alan's house thoroughly. Seeing this, Alan becomes very happy and says, "Looking at you, it doesn't seem like you're from a noble family." Then Alan starts thinking, "When I saved her in the forest, I noticed her hands. They were very rough." Charlotte was given a fake noble title and was treated just like a maid. Later, Charlotte approaches Alan and says, "You helped me with my work and I know you can handle this house's chores yourself, so my presence here isn't needed." Alan replies, "My house is always messy and I don't know much about housekeeping. That's why I want you to work here as a maid." Charlotte agrees. Alan then says, "There's no work until dinner, so you can read books in the library or rest." After saying this, Alan goes to his study room and tells Charlotte, "I'm going to finish my work, so don't disturb me." Charlotte nods. Alan then thinks, "I can't abandon people in trouble, but I also don't like socializing." He starts doing his paperwork. While working, he gets lost in it, and when he finishes, he sees Charlotte girl approaches Charlotte. Alan comes out and says, "This is my new maid. She's very shy, so she won't talk to you." The girl pushes Alan aside and introduces herself. "I am Micah from the courier company." Alan explains, "Micah delivers all my mail." Charlotte greets her. Micah says, "I can't believe a demon lord hired a Don't worry, I don't interfere in customers' personal lives. I won't tell anyone about Charlotte." Hearing this, both Alan and Charlotte are relieved and happy. In the next scene, we see Micah coming to Alan for delivery, where Alan gives her a box containing many potions. Micah says, "Alan's made potions are very good. There's good demand for them in the market." Alan explains, "I earn money by selling these potions." Micah asks Alan, "Why don't you go to the city to sell potions?" Alan refuses and says, "I don't like being social with people. Anyway, people get very scared seeing my face and think I'm an evil sorcerer. Some months ago, some children came to this forest to see Demon Lord. I stopped them for night and told them this forest isn't safe for you, so I told them to leave. But when they saw my face, they got extremely scared and ran away. That's how my name became Demon Lord, and everyone knows me by this name, but they don't know I'm just a sorcerer, not Demon Lord." Then Alan asks Micah, "What kind of things does your company sell?" After which Micah gives Alan her company's catalog, and Alan gives it to Charlotte and says, "You can take whatever you like from this." Charlotte starts looking at the catalog and makes her list to give to Micah. Alan says, "I'll buy all these catalog things for Charlotte." Seeing him so excited, Charlotte gets even more scared. Micah says, "If Alan troubles you, then you should punch him. This will make you feel good." Alan likes this idea very much and asks Micah, "Does your company have such thing?" Next day, Micah brings things for both Charlotte and Alan. Alan's item comes in very big box. Seeing that box, Charlotte gets scared and says, "What have you ordered now?" Alan opens the box. Inside is a big punching bag. Alan says Charlotte will do naughty tasks with punching bag. Hearing this, Micah gets very excited and says to Alan, "Are you talking about that naughty tasks?" Alan tells her, "It's not what you're thinking." Then Alan puts photo of Charlotte's ex-fiancé on sandbag and gives gloves to Charlotte to punch it. But Charlotte isn't punching the sandbag. Alan tells her, "You shouldn't accept everything like this. You have feelings too, you should express them." Excitedly, he says, "At first you won't enjoy it much, but later you'll get excited." Charlotte comes near sandbag and says, "I'm not feeling angry at all." Then Alan says, "Charlotte, your ex-fiancé did all these details. They troubled you so much, they even put you in jail. Aren't you angry about this?" Charlotte tells Alan, "The prince is a good person. Even though he did very bad to me, those people raised me so I can't hit them." Hearing this, Alan thinks Charlotte isn't able to express her feelings. Like this, she'll never face her true feelings. She'll always blame herself, which isn't right for her. Then Micah comes to Alan and says, "This is your personal matter, but still I think we should leave Charlotte alone for some time." After that, Alan tells Charlotte, "If you don't want to punch sandbag, then you can punch me instead." Before Charlotte can say anything, Micah says to Alan, "What nonsense are you saying?" Meanwhile, Charlotte is standing there when Alan uses magic, which makes Charlotte move, and she goes and punches Alan, making him hit the wall. Due to punch, now. After that, they all go to the city and Alan uses his magic to change Charlotte's hair color and tells her, when we return home, her hair color will return to normal. Uruka refuses and says, black color looks very good on Charlotte, to which Alan says, I like Charlotte's blonde hair. Hearing this, both are surprised and Alan asks, did I say something wrong? Uruka tells him, you don't understand anything. After that, they all go to a shop where Uruka is selecting dresses for Charlotte. Meanwhile, Alan feels very uncomfortable because he doesn't like socializing with people and there are too many people in that shop. Alan remembers his past. He used to play chess with Uruka and Uruka would lose every time, but she kept challenging him. Then Charlotte comes out wearing a dress and Alan tells her, this dress is a bit short. Then Alan thinks to himself that the dress looks very good on Charlotte and then realizes that he's an alpha male who isn't attracted to such things. Alan punches himself, making blood come out of his mouth. Seeing this, Charlotte gets scared and Uruka tells her to change clothes. Meanwhile, Uruka and Alan are talking to each other. Alan asks Uruka, can you get information about the second prince of the Neuros kingdom and his family? I want to know why they treated Charlotte so badly. Uruka tells Alan, I'll find out about this. Anyway, father has many friends here. And she asks Alan, why do you want to know all this? Alan replies, I want to teach a lesson to all those who treated Charlotte so badly. And if her entire family is involved in this, I'll eliminate them all. Meanwhile, Charlotte calls Uruka for help, and while Uruka is helping Charlotte adjust her dress, her eyes fall on Charlotte's back and she gets very shocked. Then Charlotte comes closer. Uruka tells Alan, you should see Charlotte. When Alan sees Charlotte, he also gets shocked because there are many small marks on her back. Seeing them, Alan thinks deeply that Charlotte's family must have tortured her a lot. Then he uses his healing magic to cure the wounds and tells Uruka, do the task I asked you to do. Uruka agrees, but Charlotte doesn't understand what work Alan has asked Uruka to do. Then Uruka tells Alan, I've selected many clothes for Charlotte, now you have to select clothes for her. Alan refuses and says, I don't know how to select girls' dresses. But Uruka gets angry at him, so Alan has to agree. He selects a dress which is very bold. Seeing that dress, both Uruka and Charlotte get very shy. Alan explains, I really don't know about these things. After that, they all come out for shopping. Then Alan brings many gifts for Charlotte from a shop, but neither Uruka nor Charlotte like those gifts. Charlotte tells them, you shouldn't spend so much money on me, but both ignore her. Uruka tells Alan, you've lost this competition. Hearing this, Alan gets angry and they start arguing again. Charlotte stops them from fighting and tells them that fighting is very bad. Hearing this, Alan promises Charlotte that he won't fight anymore. Then they all go to the next shop where Uruka sees a magic wheelchair and gets excited looking at it. Alan tells Charlotte, Uruka really likes match gears, that's why she gets so excited seeing them, so we both have to do shopping now. They both go to a jewelry shop where Charlotte asks, have you come to buy jewelry? Then Alan takes a hairpin for Charlotte and says, this hairpin's color matches your eyes, so I'm taking it for you. He asks the shopkeeper its price. The shopkeeper tells him it's 1 silver coin. Alan gives the shopkeeper 1 gold coin and takes the hairpin for Charlotte. Charlotte also becomes very happy with this gift. Then 2 boys push Charlotte, but Alan catches her. Those 2 boys tell Charlotte, you should watch where you're going. Hearing this, Alan gets angry and tells them, you should leave quietly from here, otherwise nothing good will happen to you. After hearing Alan, those 2 boys ask, are you going to fight us? Alan remembers his promise to Charlotte, so he apologizes and is about to leave when one of the boys comes to Charlotte and tells Alan, we can let you go on one condition, you have to give us this girl. Just as he's about to touch Charlotte, Alan punches him hard. Seeing this, the other boy takes out his sword while others try to stop Alan from fighting. That boy attacks Alan, but Alan breaks his sword with his hand and punches him, making him fall far away. Seeing this, everyone praises Alan. Then Alan remembers that he broke his promise. Alan starts apologizing to Charlotte, who says, I know you don't like violence, you did all this to protect me. She tells Alan, I'm not scared of you. After hearing this, Alan thinks, I thought Charlotte would leave me, but maybe Uruka told her something about me. Alan also becomes happy about this. Then a beast comes behind Alan and says, you made a mistake by hitting my boys. Alan also looks at him angrily. Alan recognizes that beast and says, your name is Magath, right? We're meeting after a long time. Magath says, I don't know you. Then Alan tells Magath his name. Hearing this, Magath starts apologizing. Seeing this, everyone is shocked and Charlotte doesn't understand what's happening. Meanwhile, Magath's subordinates ask, boss, why are you apologizing to this boy? You should teach him a lesson. Hearing this, Magath hits them all and says, all of you shut up. Meanwhile, Charlotte remains confused. Uruka explains to Charlotte, our father is the chairman of the biggest magic academy here, and Alan graduated from that magic academy at the age of 12, which is why he's called a genius. For some years, Alan also worked as a teacher at the magic academy. Hearing this, Charlotte is very surprised. Then Magath asks Alan, what's your relation with that girl? Alan thinks, she works as a maid in my house, but she's like a younger sister to me. He tells Magath, Charlotte is very precious to me. The next day, Micah and Uruka come to Alan's house to meet him, but they see Alan looking very troubled outside his house. They ask him, why are you so troubled? Did something happen between you and Charlotte? Alan replies, nothing happened between us. He tells them that last night he gave money to Charlotte which she refused to take, but he convinced her. She works very hard, so she must accept this money. Charlotte accepts the money and Alan tells her, I know you'll save it, but you should spend it. Charlotte agrees and says, I'll go buy some good things with this money. Hearing this, Alan becomes happy, but Charlotte says she'll go to market alone. Alan tells them he's worried whether Charlotte will be able to shop properly. Meanwhile, Micah and Uruka ignore his words, which makes Alan angry at them. Then Uruka asks Alan, what did she go to buy? Alan replies, she didn't tell me anything about it and said it's a secret. I'm very happy that she's behaving like a normal person now. Uruka tells Alan, you don't need to worry so much about Charlotte. After that, they all follow her where Charlotte is checking the map for directions. Alan says, it seems Charlotte has forgotten the way. Micah informs them, the path Charlotte is taking leads to the murder district where there's a party of adventurers called Empire Chamber. Those people are very bad. Hearing this, Alan says, I'm going ahead for some work. Meanwhile, Charlotte enters that district and the members of Vampire Chamber surround her. Seeing which, both Uruka and Mika are worried about Charlotte, and then all those people start welcoming Charlotte. Then Alan arrives there and we find out that Alan had earlier gone to that party and beaten them up badly, telling them everything about Charlotte. Meanwhile, their injuries are also visible and Charlotte notices their wounds. She gives them some healing potion and says, this will heal all your injuries. Seeing her kindness, everyone starts calling her a goddess. The leader of the party asks Charlotte, what is your relationship with Demon Lord? Charlotte replies, are you talking about Alan? After thinking, she says, actually Alan is my master. Hearing this, Alan feels extremely sad. Meanwhile, they all start badmouthing the Demon Lord, which unjures Alan. Charlotte tells everyone that Alan is a very good person and praises him highly, which makes Alan feel very good. She also tells them that the Demon Lord is teaching her many naughty tasks, leaving them all shocked. Then Charlotte bids them goodbye and leaves. Seeing this, Alan feels a huge sense of relief. Meanwhile, Uruka and Mika tell Alan that there are many parties in the city that could trouble Charlotte. After hearing this, Alan says, don't worry about them. Later, we see Alan going to all the parties, scaring them and making them understand. Then Alan returns to Uruka and Mika and tells them, now no one will trouble Charlotte. Uruka tells Alan, now we don't need to keep an eye on Charlotte. Besides, she is planning a surprise for all of us, so we shouldn't ruin it. Alan agrees, but he is still worried about Charlotte. Mika tells Alan, I'm going to keep an eye on Charlotte, so you don't need to worry. Later, we see Alan and Uruka sitting in a cafe when Mika arrives and tells them, Charlotte has finished her shopping. Alan asks Mika, what did Charlotte buy? Mika replies, I couldn't see any of the items, besides she's planning a surprise for us. Then Charlotte arrives with the shop owner and says, it's good that all of you are here together. Seeing the shop owner, Alan is confused. Charlotte tells Alan, the whole city is talking about the Demon Lord. He is very happy with your work. Alan doesn't understand. The shop owner explains, you taught all the parties in the city a good lesson, so they won't trouble us anymore. The whole city is very happy about this. She thanks Alan. Then the shop owner tells Charlotte, your boyfriend is really great. Charlotte is shocked. Alan clarifies, I'm not her boyfriend. The shop owner thanks Alan again and leaves. Alan asks Charlotte, how was your shopping? Charlotte replies, it went very well, I've brought gifts for all of you. She gives Uruka a stuffed toy and Mika a cap, which they both like. But Alan feels sad, thinking, Charlotte didn't bring anything for me. He asks Charlotte about his gift. Charlotte says, I couldn't bring yours yet, I didn't know what you'd like. Hearing this, Alan feels hurt and says, Charlotte, I'd love any gift from you, even a stone or a stamped photo would make me happy. Charlotte feels bad and Alan says, I didn't mean to upset you. Charlotte then gives Alan a torn robe and says, I'll fix this robe for you. This makes Alan happy. Later at home, Charlotte is sewing the robe and Alan feels delighted watching her. He thinks, she has a point. I don't want Charlotte to turn bad, I just want her to live a happy life. He tells Charlotte, if I take you on a trip, you'll be happy, right? Charlotte agrees. Alan adds, we'll have fun and visit hot springs. At the mention of hot springs, Charlotte blushes. Alan says, I've decided we're going on a trip together. Charlotte refuses, but Alan threatens, if you don't listen, I'll curse myself again. Scared, Charlotte gives in. Alan already has 2 tickets. The next day, they travel to the resort by carriage. Charlotte admires the view and asks Alan, why didn't you invite Mika and Uruka? Alan explains, Mika is busy and Uruka is handling work in the neighboring kingdom. Meanwhile, Uruka and Mika are secretly following them. Uruka says, we'll keep a close watch. At the resort, Charlotte reads about it in a book and tells Alan, this place is really nice. Alan asks, what do you like most here? Charlotte replies, I know you won't do anything weird. At the reception, the receptionist welcomes them, saying, "I'm honored you chose our resort for your honeymoon." They both exclaim, "Honeymoon?" The receptionist asks, "Aren't you a married couple?" Hearing this, both of them blush. Alan denies it. Then the receptionist asks, "Perhaps you two are lovers?" But Alan denies this as well. Because our bathhouse is mixed, males and females bathe together. Charlotte hadn't brought her swimsuit. The receptionist tells her, "You can rent a swimsuit here." Then Charlotte returns wearing the swimsuit. Seeing her, Alan is stunned and feels uneasy. Charlotte notices and says, "If you don't like it, I'll change." But Alan stops her, saying, "No, it looks really good on you." After that, they both enter the pool and have a great time together. At night, they enjoy the hot springs under the moonlight while Mika and Iroka secretly watch them. Alan orders ice cream for Charlotte and uses magic on it. Charlotte eats it and loves it. Seeing this, other kids start demanding ice cream from their parents, and soon, the receptionist is overwhelmed with orders. Some kids approach Alan and request, "Please use magic on our ice cream too." Since Alan is in a good mood, he obliges. The receptionist then suggests spots where they can enjoy themselves more. Later, they go to their room to sleep but find only one bed, beautifully decorated. They are surprised. Meanwhile, Mika and Iroka eavesdrop from behind the wall. Alan tells Charlotte this bed has a dream crystal. It will show you wonderful dreams while you sleep. As they prepare to sleep, Charlotte shares, "I want to dream about my mom. She passed away when I was little." But she can't fall asleep, so Alan uses his magic to help her. Watching Charlotte sleep, Alan murmurs, "She looks even more beautiful when sleeping." Then he realizes what he's thinking and uses magic on himself to sleep too. Because of his magic, even Iroka and Mika doze off. The next morning, Alan asks Charlotte, "Did you have a good dream?" She replies, "Yes, I talked a lot with my mom and told her about myself." Silently, Alan promises her mother, "I'll take good care of Charlotte." The receptionist asks Mika and Iroka to check out, but they're still half asleep. Meanwhile, a sinister voice whispers, "Alan and Charlotte, you won't escape." The next day, Alan and Charlotte visit the zoo where they see many magical animals. Charlotte apologizes, "I know you don't like crowded places," but she buys 2 hairbands and says, "Let's wear these while exploring." Alan feels embarrassed but agrees. Suddenly, a beast arrives with many fans, declaring, "The real fight begins now." Meanwhile, Charlotte and Alan enter the petting zoo where they see many rabbits. Overwhelmed with joy, Charlotte cries, "Today, because of you, my dream came true." Alan is shocked to see animals flocking to Charlotte. The crowd is amazed too, and someone remarks, "No one has ever tamed so many animals at once." Charlotte happily plays with them, but the animals growl at Alan, warning, "If you hurt her, we'll eat you." Alan is baffled. He explains to Charlotte, "There are many types of magic in this world. I have several myself, and you might even tame bigger creatures." A guide approaches and says, "You two have exceptional taming skills. We need your help." Alan follows them into a camp where they've rescued a rare, injured creature, a Fenrir. The leader explains, "We can't heal or tame it. Can you help?" Alan tries communicating, but the Fenrir snarls at him. Then the guide announces its mother is here looking for it. Everyone panics. Alan realizes a single Fenrir can destroy this city. He declares, "I'll fight it." Shocked, the workers evacuate. Charlotte insists, "I want to help," but Alan refuses, "It's too dangerous." Sadly, Charlotte argues, "You said I have great taming skills. Let me try calming the baby Fenrir." The zookeepers protest, but Alan finally agrees, "Fine, tame the baby while I hold off the mother." Meanwhile, Mika and Iroka, still on vacation, are startled when Alan suddenly appears. He says, "I knew you were following me. Now I need your help." Soon, Fenrirs attack the resort. Alan creates a barrier with his magic and freezes the smaller ones with ice spells. But the mother Fenrir arrives, swallows Alan, only for him to escape using shadow magic. The beast Ghostu taunts Demon, "You separated the Fenrir from its child. Now she'll never spare you." Alan demands, "What do you want?" Ghostu replies, "I want to protect the girl with you." Confused, Alan asks, "How do you know Charlotte?" Ghostu explains, "I found her unconscious in the forest and tried to help, but you took her first. I followed because I won't let her stay with an evil demon like you." Alan smirks, "You're just jealous." Enraged, Ghostu attacks, but Alan dodges. Ghostu then frees the Fenrirs with fire magic, surrounding Alan. Just then, Charlotte arrives with the baby Fenrir and other animals to help. Amazed, Alan thinks, "It took me 6 months to learn creature speech, but Charlotte mastered it instantly." The baby Fenrir convinces its mother, "They're not bad people." Ghostu pleads with Charlotte, "Come with me, the demon lord is dangerous." But Charlotte refuses, Alan is kind. Furious, Ghostu threatens, "Then I'll take you by force," and attacks. Alan blocks him, punches his gut, and sends him flying. Then he heals Ghostu. Defeated, Ghostu admits, "I'll never beat you." Noticing the hairband on Alan's head, he mocks him, irritating Alan further. Later, they return to the resort where the receptionist thanks them. Suddenly, Fenrirs arrive, scaring her. The baby Fenrir asks, "Did you catch the hunters who attacked us?" Just then, Mika and Oroka bring the captured hunters. Alan says, "I already assigned them this task." He warns the hunters, "If you try this again, I won't spare you." Terrified by the Fenrirs, they beg for mercy.